Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So every single year in the state of California, we pay very close attention to July 1st. And that's because typically on July 1st, new gun control that was passed in previous years will become effective. And this year, July 1st, 2025, is no difference, except this time we just found out on May 12th the new effective date of a new regulation that is going to increase fees for background checks on ammunition significantly. So let's talk about what's going on. Now, before we get too deep into what's going on here, this video is proudly sponsored by Aura. Listen, big companies with poor security are getting hacked every single day, and your personal information is being sold on the dark web so spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target you. I mean, just Google yourself. You might be surprised how much information is already available for anyone to see. Well, instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, get Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security numbers, across billions of data points like the dark web to alert you about potential identity theft, and every adult on the account, up to 5, gets $1 million in identity theft coverage. That's a total of $5 million per one account. But Aura doesn't stop there. With Data Broker Opt-out, Aura will help you remove your personal identifying information from data brokers and people's search sites that sell your information to scammers and thieves. Aura also has 24/7 US-based support, a secure password manager, antivirus, VPN, and more. And you get all that on one app at one affordable price. Now, I personally recommend Aura, and you really have nothing to lose because you could try Aura free for 2 weeks. Check out the link down below or click the link in the description box to try Aura for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So I believe it was back in January of 2024 when the California Department of Justice first proposed increasing the fees for what they call an eligibility check for ammunition, which is just a fancy way of saying background check. Now, after that proposal in January, in September, it was opened for comments. So you could comment on the proposed increase of the fees. Now, from September until October 8th, people left a lot of comments telling California why they felt like this was unconstitutional, it was a bad idea. There were a lot of comments opposing that fee increase. That comment period, again, ended on October 8th. Well, it wasn't until May 12th, just last week, that we found out from the California OAL that the increase was approved and that it's going to be starting on July 1st of this year. Now, let me tell you, I read a lot of the comments and responses from the California Department of Justice that were left back in September and October, and I can tell you that the California Department of Justice pretty much ignored every single comment that was in opposition to this fee increase. Now, after the comment period, the OAL has to approve the increase, right? That's the Office of Administrative Law. They have to approve it. Well, again, they approved it. They gave it their rubber stamp on May 12th, and now this is going to be taking effect on July 1st. And the increase, instead of going from $1 or $1.50, I'm sure a lot of you know what the fee increase is going to be, but instead of going just, incrementally, they decided to go from $1 to $5 for every single eligibility check. So every time you go in to get something, it's going to be $5. And while $5 might not seem like a lot of money to some people, it's a lot of money to other people. Imagine if you went every single time and instead of giving California that money, you put it in a bucket somewhere. By the end of the year, you'd probably have enough for a car payment. So be prepared, because on top of the extra 11% tax and additional fees, there's now going to be another 5 just to practice what is supposed to be a protected constitutional right. A right that existed prior to the Constitution ever being written. This is what California is doing is completely unconstitutional. They are taxing a right and they are trying to price people out of participating in that right. But there is actually a lawsuit that's been around now for quite some time that is challenging this. You guys might have seen it on my channel if you've been watching for a while now. If not, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. But we've talked about Rohde v. Bonta at least a half a dozen times. Rohde v. Bonta is a case that is challenging all of the background check regulations when it comes to ammunition. They had oral arguments back on December 4th, and this is a case that is moving forward. Now, obviously, it's not going to be without its challenges. The California court system is definitely stacked against us and our rights, The Ninth Circuit will do everything they can to try and side with the state of California. But to me, this is so clearly unconstitutional that I believe in the end it will end up in a victory. Just when that victory happens, obviously we don't know. So this is just something that you need to prepare for. It's just another additional thing that California has burdened you with to practice your constitutional right. Again, a right that existed prior to the Constitution ever even being written. But California doesn't care. They'll play the long game on this one, which is what they're doing with just about everything else. So I wanted to let you know about that. Again, it's coming up on July 1st. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we'll start seeing some changes soon. Maybe the Federal Department of Justice and Harmeet Dillon through the Civil Rights Division can do something about it. But I won't hold my breath on anything until I see some actual action. Until then, that's what's going on. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a good one.